Hi ma'am, this is Tekushi from ITA and my roll number is 37. And my topic for TED Talk for HCI subject is Standards for XML and Web Services Security. So coming to the introduction, Web Services is defined as a software system designed to support interoperable machine-to-machine interaction over a network. In another way, Web services provide a framework for system integration independent of programming language and operating system. Web services are widely deployed in the current distributed systems and have become the technology of choice for implementation service-oriented architectures that are also called as SOAP. In such architectures, loosely coupled services may be located across organizational domains. The suitability of web services for integrating heterogeneous systems is largely facilitated through its extensive use of extensible markup language, that is XML. The interface of a web service is, for instance, described using the XML based on web services. Web services description language is called as WSDL. Furthermore, communication is performed using XML-based SOAP messages. The security of a web service is basically based on not only the security of the services themselves, but also on confidentiality and integrity of the XML-based SOAP messages used for communication. The Organization for the World Advancement of Structured Information Standard, that is OASIS, and the World Wide Web Consortium have, over the last years, standardized several specifications related to security in web services and XML. Using these established standards when creating web services instead of custom solutions clearly has the advantages of facilitating both system interoperability and reusability. XML-based SOAP messages for exchanging information between entities in web services systems. The information contained within these SOAP messages may be subjected to both confidentiality and integrity requirement. Although mechanisms at lower layers may provide end-to-end security, these lower layer machines are often insufficient. This is due to the fact that a SOAP message may be subjected to the processing and even modification at intermediate nodes. XML signature and XML encryption are used to provide integrity and confidentiality respectively. Although these two standards are based on digital signatures and encryptions, none of them define any new cryptographic algorithms. So, to provide security, the main two things is confidentiality and integrity. So, these are attained in XML using XML signatures and XML encryptions. So, this is certain kind of flowchart or a picture which represents how this process takes place. So, first you'll have optimization standards in which it involves SOAP modem, web services secure conversation, web services addressing, and SOAP, that is supporting standard. Next, you'll have core standards, that is XML, XML namespace, XML infoset, and XML scheme. So these are the three things. So you have three standards. One is optimization standard, one is supporting standard, and one is core standard. So you can view that in the picture as well. So let us see what are the key standards for XML to provide web services security. So standards for XML security and web services security play a crucial role in ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity of data exchanged between different systems. Some key standards in this domain include XML signatures. So XML signatures are nothing but digital signatures. This standard defines the syntax and processing rules for creating digital signatures on XML content. It enables the verification of the origin and integrity of XML documents. Next is XML encryption. In short, it is known as XML ENC, that is XML encryption. So XML encryption provides a standard way to encrypt and decrypt XML data, ensuring that sensitive information remains confidential during transmission or storage. So next is security assertion markup language. In this, it is an XML-based standard for exchanging authentication and authorization data between parties, such as between an identity provider and a service provider. Next is WS security, that is web service security. Web service security is a set of specifications that extend SOAP, that is Simple Object Access Protocol, to apply security features, including message integrity, confidentiality. So WS security often integrates with other standards like XML digital signatures and XML encryptions as well. Coming to OAuth, while not specific to XML, OAuth is widely used for securing web services. It provides a framework for access delegation, allowing a client to obtain limited access to resources on behalf of a resource owner. Next is web services secure conversation. So the standard defines that a framework for establishing and managing security contexts in web services environments provide a greater security. It enhances security by providing a secure conversations between different parties. Next is web services trust. So web services trust is focused on the establishment of trust relationships and the issuance, renewal, and validation of security tokens. It plays a vital role in web security architectures. Next is Web Services Federation. This standard enables identity authentication and authorization to be shared across different trust domains. It's often used for signal sign-on, that is SSO scenarios. Next is XML key management specifications. So XML key management specifications provide a standard way to distribute and register public keys, which is crucial for security communication in web services. So these standards collectively contribute to building a secure and interoperable framework for XML and web services. It's important for developers and organizations to adapt these standards when implementing and deploying web services to ensure a robust and secure posture. So let us look at these headings once again so that you'll get an overview. So what are the key standards of web services security? The first one is XML signatures, that are digital signatures. Next is XML encryptions. Next is security assertion markup language, which is mainly based on authentication and authorization. And next is WS security, that is web services security, which is an extension for SOAP, that is Simple Object Access Protocol. Next is OAuth. Next is web security, secure conversations, how the framework is designed and what is the environment, how it is established and managed. Next is web security trust. So it involves everything about trust establishment, trust relationships, insurance, renewal, and validation phases. Next is Web Security Federation. So it is mainly based on identity, authentication, and authorization. And it's often used in SSO, that is single sign-on scenarios. Next is XML key management. So these are some of the standards that has to be taken care while you're developing a web service. In your organization, it's important for developers and organizations to adapt these standards when implementing and deploying web services to ensure a robust security posture. So this is the flow chart. So here you are having composite standard, public key infrastructure, access control, security tokens, confidentiality and integrity, and message transport. In composite standard, you will have so WS secure, that is web security, will have XML markup language. It has XMS, that is key management, and further it is divided into things. And in confidentiality and integrity, you will have encryption, digital signatures, and SSL. And in message transporting, you'll have SOAP, which we have already seen in the previous slides. So this is the flowchart or a basic idea how all the previous standards are included when you're developing a web service and how the security is provided to that particular web service. So XML signature and XML encryption are used to provide integrity and confidentiality, respectively. Although these two standards are based on digital signatures and encryptions, none of them define any new cryptographic algorithms. Instead, XML signatures and encryptions define how to apply well-established digital signatures or encryptions. So, a standardized way to represent signatures, encrypted data, and information about the associated keys in XML, independent of whether the sign is encrypted, resource is an XML source or not. The possibility to sign and or encrypt selected parts of an XML document, the means to transfer two logical equivalent XML documents, but with syntactic differences into the same physical representations. This is referred to as canonization in order to be able to verify the signature of an XML resource that had its representation changed, but still has the same logical meaning. It is essential that it is performed as a part of XML, that is XML markup language. So coming to main parts of this XML and web services security, the first thing is authentication. Implement strong authentication mechanisms to verify the identity of the parties involved. Consider using token-based authentications for web services. Next is authorization. So coming to authorization, define and enforce proper access controls to restrict unauthorized access to web services. Use OAuth or other authorization frameworks to manage access permissions. So authorization is nothing but access permissions are limited. So only for few people you will be providing the permission, and for unauthorized access, the permission will be denied. So for that you can use OAuth. Next is input validation. So coming to input validation, it validates and sanitizes all input data to prevent XML-based attacks such as XML injection. Avoid using user input directly in XML documents without proper validation. Next is firewall protection. You might be very well-known topic, firewall protection. Everybody is known it. So implement firewalls to monitor and control incoming and outgoing traffic to and from web services. Next is configure firewalls to allow only necessary traffic and block potential threats. Coming to error handling, customize error messages to avoid exposing sensitive information. Provide meaningful error messages to assist developers and administrators in diagnosing issues without revealing too much information to the potential attackers. So error handling plays a crucial role because to avoid exposing of sensitive information, error handling is important, and at a regular intervals of time, whenever an error is produced, you have to give a proper error message to the developers and administrators so that it can be recalled or re-verified immediately without providing a potential data to the attackers. Next is logging and monitoring. Coming to logging and monitoring, implement comprehensive logging mechanisms to track and monitor web service activities. Regularly review logs for any suspicious or unauthorized activities. So logging and monitoring plays a crucial role because whenever you're logging on or monitoring anything, so you have to be suspicious. So any unauthorized activities are being done or not. You have to be conscious who all are logging in, who all are monitoring, who all are using it and all, so that you can protect the data from unauthorized activities. Next is security standards compliance. So adhere to industry security standards such as web services security or for web services. Stay updated on security best practices and standards relevant to XML and web services. So before coming to the conclusion, let us recall the main points to provide web services security. So the first one is authentication, that is verifying identities of people who are all involved. Next is authorization, means providing access control method. So access is provided only for the needed people, and it is so with the help of this authorization mechanism, you can give access to only specific people, and unauthorized access of web services will be protected. So by using OAuth, you can overcome such things. Next is input validation. So in input validation, what will happen is who are all giving you inputs, whether because of such inputs any attacks have been taken. So you have to use proper things. So you have to avoid using user input directly in XML documents. without any proper verification. So after proper verification only, user inputs will be taken by the organization or by a developer. Next is firewall protection, where everybody is using it. Next, error handling, logging and monitoring, security standards compliance. So these are all some of the things. So coming to conclusion, in conclusion, ensuring the security of XML and web services involves a multifaceted approach that encompasses various standards and best practices. By adhering to these key points, organizations can establish a robust, secure framework that safeguards sensitive data and maintains the secure integrity of the communication channels. XML encryption and digital signatures provide a solid foundation for protecting data within XML documents and ensuring the authenticity of the information exchanged. Implementing secure transport layer protocols such as TLCs is fundamental to secure the communication between clients and servers. Authentication and authorization mechanisms plays a crucial role in verifying the identities of parties involved and controlling access to web services. Additionally, input validation and protection against common attacks like XSS and CSRF are essential to prevent malicious exploitation of vulnerabilities. So, the basic thing is that for ensuring XML and web services security, authentication and authorization plays a crucial role. In addition to that, validation and protection is also needed to protect from some of the possible attacks. So I hope you got the importance of web services security to overcome or to prevent malicious exploitation of vulnerabilities, how important it is to provide the security for web services as well. So I hope you all understood this topic clearly. Thank you so much.